How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to analyze Bitcoin's chart, and I'm going to give you guys where I think we're going to head in these next couple of days to around a week or so, and just kind of explain how things look through just looking at Bitcoin's chart from the small amount of TA I know. But this is kind of congruent with other technical analysis that I've seen from other traders who have a lot more experience than me. So gonna kind of relay their thoughts into mine as well. And with that, we're also going to check out SKI and kind of just update you guys on if I think there's going to be another buying opportunity before we continue higher, and kind of give you the scenarios behind that as well. So not necessarily a SKI update, but more so just looking at his chart. If you're looking for a potential energy or entry, keyword potential, again, not financial advice there, because we honestly don't know what the market will do. It can do anything we think, it can be doing something different that we think it would do. But anyways, with that being said, guys, let's get into the hour time frame. So as you guys can see, we are trading above $100,000. We have been for a while. I'm sure you guys know that. But basically what we saw in the 1 hour time frame, simply looking at a very simple technical analysis metric here, was a break of structure. And this break of structure came from this area right here. As you can see, we had a series of higher highs, higher lows, the typical structure of a bullish formation. We had our higher high, we had our higher low, we had our higher high, higher low, blah, blah, blah. Now, what ended up happening was we had this, so this would be our low, essentially our previous higher low. The reason this wouldn't be is because, as you can see, we failed to create a higher high here. I guess this would have been technically a higher low, but anyways, it still remains the same. As you guys can see, we had a big wick down. This, or not a big wick, this is a big body, big candle down with small wicks. And what ended up happening is, as you can see, this being our previous low, we broke below that. And so we'd consider this I'm not even going to try to draw it out, but this is our break of structure, right? So we had our break of structure here. Don't mind the handwriting. And from here, we could confirm that there could be some short-term bearish price action due to the fact that we did move down. And if you would have caught this break of structure, which it would have been risky to short here, let's be honest. We moved down and wicked all the way almost below 100,000. But as you can see throughout this time, we have just been trading in between that, as well as we've got north of $105,000 again, which we did actually end up closing a candle below this previous high. But we continue to reject. And as you can see, even if you would have considered this a new high or new low created, we still broke below there. So the bearish price action, just again from the little TA I know, is still prevalent. The question is, where do we move from here? I have some targets in mind, just kind of targeting around the $96,000 range is like a area of interest, but even somewhere down here in the 100,000. Again, I just want to just go over the fact of where we are in the previous time or the small time frame, because as you guys can see in the day time frame, so once we zoom this out, it is just clearly bullish. It's still very bullish. We had our higher high created, higher low, higher high, and there's really not much else going on whatsoever. And we have bullish fair value gap here. We could tap into, rip up again. Nonetheless, the day chart still looks great. So for long-term price action, the day chart looks great. Nothing wrong with it. We continue to just wick. We wick down in these areas. We continue to just back ourselves back up. So I think there's definitely a chance we do see another pump coming up. But I think before we see that, just looking at that hour time frame like we've discussed, we will see some just retest of some levels before moving back up again. And on the day chart, it really won't look like much of anything once we do make those moves. But that's just what I want to share with you. So as you can see, looking at Bitcoin dominance now, with this, we are at 63%. This is on the hour time frame, and it looks like we could get a rejection from this bearish fair value gap. However, from like a slight, if you wanted to call this a downtrend, it kind of is. We did break out of it for, getting higher. I don't know. We could see movement downwards, but I just want to point out with a 63% Bitcoin dominance, like that's still pretty prevalent. It's not too far off from where we were previously in May at 65. So I think nonetheless that if we do see this move down with Bitcoin, that altcoins are of course going to take a decent hit from it, not too bad. And with that, I want to talk about SKI. So again, this is the other half of the video. We're just going to talk about SKI on the hour time frame, and we'll look at also the 1 day time frame also. We might not actually. So with the 1 hour time frame, guys, the same thing I'm kind of looking for with that of SKI. We did have another break of structure, right? That kind of started when we had this low here. It was broke, and then boom, we've been falling down ever so slightly. But again, this is a coin with a lower market cap, but it still does follow some technical analysis principles. I was able to kind of draw out some TA from this level. I'd have to scroll back, but we had a wick all the way up there. We had some resistance here. Maybe it would be bit. Yeah, okay. And then 2 areas where we tapped it there. Hence why I drew out. This is technically our support right now, which we're trading right at. And then we have our previous support below it. At that is kind of where I drew at around 6 cents. You can kind of see price hit there, but realistically, just anywhere in this area, I'm looking to target maybe to add a little bit more to the SKI spot bag. So basically what I'm saying here is that with Bitcoin potentially falling down, like if this short is valid, if we do see Bitcoin make that move down, I would expect that of SKI to do the same, let alone other coins in the market. So yeah, I do expect SKI to potentially make a move down here as well. And I definitely be prone to picking some up around this area here. So once we hit 8 cents, I'll be picking up a certain percentage. Once we hit 7 cents, I'll be picking up a certain percentage. And then at 6 cents, which is around this previous support that I drew out, which might not even be a good support level. Anyways, the point is, those are the levels I'm going to be aiming to put some more spot money into SKI. So I just want to share with you guys that the whole basis around it. If you had some cash on standby and you want to see if this plays out, again, not financial advice. I don't know if this will play out. So I just want to let you guys know. But I thought I would share that with you guys, see your thoughts on it. If you agree, if you disagree, I'd love to know. But realistically, this is just my thoughts on a potential we could see here for SKI. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you later.